doing near a video game store? Buying a video game?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're feeling a bit yellow as we're taking a trip to Springfield to find the 10 best Simpsons games. The Simpsons have had no shortage of adventures in video games, and while a lot of them might have been merely cash grabs, more than a few have stood the test of time and fully captured the feeling of playing a Simpsons episode. Did your favorite Simpsons game make the list? Are you still watching one of television's longest running sitcoms? Let us know down in the comments. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Itchy and Scratchy game. They bite, they fight, they get their own game which strangely doesn't have their iconic in-universe music? Besides this probable music licensing issue, the Itchy and Scratchy game features everything you'd expect from a platformer starring the Simpsons' familiar cartoon cat and mouse duo, besides their mindless gory violence, that is. If they couldn't even get the music, you'd think they could afford anything other than an E rating? Even with these minor setbacks and trivial quibbles, the title is still fun for an afternoon as Itchy chasing Scratchy around for the simple pleasure of tormenting the poor kitty cat. The Simpsons, Bart vs. the Space Mutants. The very first Simpsons game ever, Bart vs. the Space Mutants, gave fans what they always wanted, an interactive way to explore Springfield. Ripping off the classic film They Live, Springfield is being invaded by aliens, but only Bart can see them using his X-ray glasses, which tint the entire world green and reveal the aliens in disguise. Bart needs to complete various puzzles in each level to slow the aliens' progress of creating the ultimate weapon to take over the world, while attempting to convince his family that the aliens are real and among them to get their help in later levels. Players explore various Springfield landmarks such as Krusty Land and the nuclear plant, and if successful in stopping the aliens' attempts at world domination, the aliens will graciously concede and reward Bart with the recognition he's always deserved. Krusty's Super Funhouse. Krusty the Clown has always been known for cutting corners wherever and whenever he can, so when his Super Funhouse becomes overrun with rats, he takes it upon himself to deal with the problem rather than hire a professional to take care of it. Similar to Lemmings, Krusty must lead the rats through various levels, getting rid of obstacles and obstructions, all while building pathways for the rats to follow. Unlike Lemmings, however, there's no happy ending for the rats. At the end of each level, a main character from the Simpsons family or the Krusty the Clown Show cast member is waiting to put an end to the rats Krusty leads into their traps. The Simpsons Tapped Out.
Why are you doing this to me? Because if I tap you 10 times in this game, I get free donuts.
Now, before we get our pitchforks out and begin marching on EA at dawn...
Max, look! Those idiots don't even know where we live! No!
Beyond all of its blatant microtransactions, Tapped Out is actually a very solid Simpsons game. The idea of Homer being responsible for Springfield's destruction and subsequent rebuilding to bring the town's many colorful characters back is a brilliant concept that fits right in line with the show's overall tone. Yes, many of the mechanics are designed to persuade you into spending real-world money, such as abhorrently long times for buildings to be completed and your subsequent rewards, but for those with just a casual interest in building their own ideal Springfield, you could do a lot worse than Tapped Out.
Side effects of Tapped Out include frequent workplace demotions, sudden and uncontrollable flakiness, loss of others' respect, and trouble caring about anything besides Homer and his little pretend world.
The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare. We've all been there, haven't we? Those late nights when you stay up to try to finish your homework, end up falling asleep and ending up in a fantastical world where you need to recover your homework pages to escape? No? Must just be Bart then. The amount of imagination on display as Bart takes part in numerous minigames manages to keep the game interesting, as each new level offers a different gameplay style and distinct level design from one another. With each page Bart encounters, he must choose a door that leads to a level within his own dreams, such as Bartzilla, Bartman, Idaho Simpson, and even a level in which he's relentlessly stalked by Itchy and Scratchy. Depending on how many pages Bart has collected by the end of the game will affect his final grade and his family's approval or disappointment with him. The Simpsons Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror. The only handheld entry on our list, Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror adapts the spirit of many of the best episodes of The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror Halloween specials in this charming 2D platformer. Players control each of the family members through various levels, such as Bart exploring a haunted house, Marge fighting off zombies in a top-down shooter, Homer becoming a giant King Kong ape, and Maggie as a fly for some reason. The characters themselves are surprisingly well detailed on Nintendo's aging hardware, and while the platforming and levels might get a bit repetitive, the old Simpsons charm makes what could be a basic platformer all the more enjoyable. The Simpsons Road Rage.
What do you think?
Just get to the game already.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but apparently that only applies if you change just enough for it not to be a noticeable near-carbon copy. The Simpsons Road Rage sought to capitalize on the success of Sega's Crazy Taxi franchise, but clearly didn't change their homework enough to not make it obvious. Despite a lawsuit being brought against EA and the developers, Road Rage still went on to become one of the PS2's best-selling games. Gameplay-wise, if you'd played the Crazy Taxi games, this was exactly that, but Simpsonized, with the titular family using their own vehicles to shuttle the many residents of Springfield around town after Mr. Burns shuts down public transportation.
My buses aren't good enough for you, eh? Well, I say, geez.
If you're going to steal, then do it from the best, and there was nothing stopping this title from being just the ridiculous kind of fun the Simpsons family is known for.
I dare say you've done enough damage for one day.
The Simpsons Arcade. No matter how antagonistic the family is to one another, there's one thing they can always be counted on to do, and that's band together and beat the ever-loving snot out of anyone who comes between them. In classic beat-em-up style, the Simpsons lay the smackdown through 8 different stages, all in an attempt to rescue Maggie after she's kidnapped by Mr. Burns and Smithers. Each character comes with their own special abilities and attacks with up to 4-player co-op. The Simpsons Arcade quickly became one of the family's most beloved video games and was later ported to PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. Sadly, probably for licensing reasons, the title was later delisted from their prospective online storefronts and hasn't returned since. However, in 2021, a re-release of the classic arcade cabinet was made available for home purchase for die-hard fans longing to revisit the classic. The Simpsons Game.
I wonder what my moves are. Jumping, floating. Oh man, I gotta try this. Wow, this is the only good book ever written.
With everything nowadays seemingly attempting to be self-referential and meta, we can safely say,
Simpsons did it! Simpsons did it!
With the series' creators and writing team penning another original Simpsons adventure, they decided to lampoon classic video game tropes and let the main cast of characters in on the fact they were in a video game. One of the game's final bosses is even the Simpsons' creator, Matt Groening.
So they won a war! Well, then it's a war they'll get. Violet, engage the Super Tune defense systems.
Yes, Mr. Groening.
It's Groening!
Are you sure?
No.
Parodying everything from EA's own Medal of Honor to even Dance Dance Revolution, the Simpsons game fully embraced how silly video games can be sometimes, while also creating one of the family's best outings in the medium. Given how well received the game was commercially, as well as by the developers it poked fun of, it's a shame the planned sequel never got beyond the planning stages.
Or these save games go in the drink.
No, my save game, stop! I'm on the final boss fight in Oblivion. I can't start again from the beginning.
The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Imagine that, scared of some harmless nuclear waste. So very harmless. Oh, cut your fingernails!
Officially the greatest Simpsons game of all time, what could have easily been a cash grab taking advantage of the hype built up by the recent release of Grand Theft Auto 3 managed to capture the essence of what makes the Simpsons family so iconic, thanks in no small part to the series' writers coming on board to pen the game's script.
Sorry, Bart. I can't serve booze to a minor. It ain't right.
I'm here to buy fireworks.
Oh, hell yeah.
Players are given near full access to a virtual Springfield to explore to their heart's content with winks and nods to various episodes hidden throughout the world for longtime fans. The Simpsons Hit and Run remains one of the most requested remakes in not only The Simpsons' catalog, but EA's portfolio as well. Some fans have even gotten tired of waiting and taken to remaking the game themselves.
If only kids would play more video games about sharing.
Marge, you know I abhor crazy plans.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.